Hi everyone, my name is Hunter Gregory, and I'll be showing you through my comic poster collection and process. I really hope you guys enjoy. To begin, I will show you my production statement. Pretty much from Project 1, which was a concept book based on gender and sexuality for me, I was really interested in the theme. And personally, the way I started it was based on fashion design and how it shouldn't be specific to gender, because gender and sexuality are very fluid. To begin this particular project, I had two main ideas. One was a magazine type book that was based around non-gendered fashion pieces, whereas the other one was to create a comic book based on acceptance. By doing this with drawings and gifs to grab the attention of others. From these ideas, I originally decided to follow along the comic book path, but after some thinking, I realized that it would be way too lengthy. So I decided on something shorter, which was a series of comic posters. I did this with digital design to draw and illustrate the comic posters. I did also think about the photography side to include some textures, but I really thought that it just didn't match what I was going for. So the aim of my comic poster collection was to catch the attention of more people while making the ideas and premises of gender and sexuality acceptance easy to understand without a lot of words. I did also think about the sustainability of my idea before choosing. I personally believe that the comic poster and comic book, both digital and physical, would have a better chance of sustainability when compared to a magazine of fashion pieces as well as the fashion pieces themselves. Okay, I'll move on to my production now. Okay, so you have two of my posters here, both my first two posters. The one on the left, to describe this, it wouldn't look much at the first sight, but when you look into it, it does say we are the same. Pretty much, you think when you see this, you think male and female. And that's okay, but you also can't define people based on what they are. We are so fluid, and this is why I really like the ideas of like the wires and the twine in between to connect them, because we are the same. No matter what gender, no matter what sexuality. The one on the right, this was more an original idea, which I really liked. I really like the fact that I made this like figure not being able to know whether it's a male or a female or anything else. Pretty much with this one, I like the idea that they were trying to ignore all these messages that are behind them. For me, I made this so the person would be setting fire to it, because we don't need these terms, because they can become very derogatory very quickly. Okay, the next one on the left, I call this one Femboys, as you can see why. So pretty much I really like this idea that it's showing that men can wear skirts, they can wear dresses, they can wear midriffs, because no matter who you are, you can wear whatever you'd like, and it should be okay. So I really like this idea that I'm showing them like this. The one on the right, this one was a lot of fun. Pretty much I called this one Captain Queer, as you can see down the bottom. But this really just defines that anyone can be a superhero. You don't have to look any specific way. You don't have to be any specific gender. You can do whatever you want. You can be a superhero. I really like this idea because I really wanted to go with the old style comic posters of like the superhero posters and just exploring everything. I'll bring you over to my process now. So I'll just explain what's a little bit in here. So we've got two workshops, both one in gesture drawing and one in typography. Next, we have research and ideas, and just what I was thinking about when I was doing research, and mood boards. And the final one we have down the bottom is my comic poster progress. So I'll just show you through the gesture drawing first. Pretty much with this workshop, I started by just drawing some lines and shapes just to get movement flowing. And then we go on to shapes. We go down, this was an exercise to try and find movement within 10-second increments and finding that flow line of movement, which was really, really helpful in the end. Because you can see all these people and you can see that they're doing actions. They're not just there on a page. Next we added some shape to the lines of movement to really form a shape of people. Okay, I also did a timeline based exercise where I was drawing every single frame that I saw on a single piece of paper, which I found that was really cool. Okay, after that, we moved on to shading and just creating bodies with shading. So we're starting to really form people and aspects of people from just these general flow lines. Okay, and then I just have a final drawing of pretty much just a person. They're just sitting down, but you can see all the lines of movement, and I think that's really good. I did actually use this in my final design, as you saw, because I was drawing people. To begin, I had to draw the lines of movement to be able to show that these people are doing things, and I found that workshop really helped. The next workshop that I did was typography. Pretty much to begin, we started with going around the world around us and taking photos of the typography. And we came back, and after all of these photos were taken, we uploaded them to our computer. And then pretty much we messed around with a little bit of collage. You'll see down the bottom in a second. Right here. So I messed around with collage and just trying to produce this image that really focused around the main idea of this one image, saying reuse and recycle. And I found that really good because I had a lot of things that were recyclable and that I found really good. Although I didn't end up using this technique in my final design, it is something that I definitely use again if I wanted to get a message across. Moving on to my research and ideas. I didn't actually have a lot of ideas to begin with. I did ask for some help from the lecturers, and they did help. So one person that I got from them was Dion Lee, and I really liked their items of clothing that are gender neutral, that everyone can wear, and I sell that on a specific website. I did add this aspect into my final design, as you saw with the Femboys poster, just because I really like the idea and how I wanted to show that gender and sexuality are fluid. The next idea that I came up with, of course, was comic book posters and comic book covers. I really like this because this is the style that I was going for. I really wanted to explore this. So I just have some photos down here. As you can see, this one in the middle, this is what I based my Femboys off. We move down, and this is what Dion Lee creates. As you can see both the man and woman in the same clothing, and it looks great. It looks fantastic because it's so gender neutral. Okay, I'll take you down to mood boards now. So I didn't actually end up using these mood boards. I have 3 different types here, as you can see. What I originally was going to do, I was going to focus around the color yellow because it is a very bright and happy color, and that's what you really want to get across when you're looking about gender and sexuality. Although I did move to the blue and pink because that is the main gender colors that we have. But I show it in a way that it's merging together, and I will go back to the home screen to show you this. you can see that there is a woman transforming into a man and back into a woman, and you can see the blue and pink merging in together, and I thought this was a really good idea to explore. And I have this in the background of every single part of my thing. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you on this page is my comic book process. Okay, so I started by getting reference photos and whatnot, but the main thing that I started with was what I got from the workshop of gesture drawing, which was lines of movement. You see on the left here. I then added in some shape to get my character that I wanted for this particular comic poster, which was the last one I showed you, which is Captain Queer. You move down, and then I was focusing on color and which color I wanted to use, and I thought that rainbow would be a really fun idea because I am going for Captain Queer. I am going for colors and gender and genderless and sexuality, so I thought it was a really good idea to incorporate those particular colors. Move down into finalizing the lovely flames and merging all the colors together and just making all of that character done. I then went into the final step and created the background, just merging some colors together, making it look very old style comic poster with a lovely header of Captain Queer. The last thing that I have in my portfolio is my contact details, so if anyone wanted to get in contact with me, they can either by phone or by email. It also has a little bit about me, so I'll just explain that again. So hi, I'm Hunter Gregory. I'm studying Diploma of Design, if you couldn't tell. But pretty much this portfolio is about gender and sexuality and how they are fluid. I discuss queer theories and I explore my work of comic styled layout and poetic book and just overall comic posters. Some really big difficulties that I did have with this was deciding what to go with between my comic book and my comic posters. I found that it was going to be really difficult to explore comic book because it would have to be at least 15 pages with at least 10 frames on each page, which was going to be a lot of work, and that was putting way too much stress on me. So I did go over to comic posters, which I realized that I could finalize and make everything the way I wanted it to in the amount of time that I had, which was really good for me. And another thing that I had a lot of trouble with was just deciding what references and stuff that I wanted. But in the end, I did get there, and I thought it was really good. Okay, I have expanded on my theme of gender and sexuality from my Project 1, which was a concept book of men and women in the opposite sex clothing, because I've been exploring just genderless and everything just makes how it's fluid. I just really wanted to explore that in this process and everything. As you could tell from my comic posters, I don't want there to be a specific line between what's masculine and what's feminine, because some people don't identify as any of that, but then they're still made to wear these things to become a part of society's stupid rules where people have to be a specific gender and a specific sexuality. But thank you guys for listening. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, I'm open to answer them. Thank you.